Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Sonia Unapologetic. My name is Sonia, and on this channel, we talk about mental wellness and living a free life from a Black woman's perspective. So you guys go ahead and like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel to join the Unapologetic tribe. I'm trying to get up to my next goal, which would be 1,000 subscribers. And watch when I look back on this video, like a year from now, I'm gonna be like way beyond that. So I thank you guys for all your support. So today I have a special guest with me. I have LeTisha Nyembo, and she is a producer. She is an editor as well. And she is also a director and a mom as well. So she got a lot of stuff, as far as she got her dreams going on with this filmmaking stuff, but also, the mom and wife duties as well. So thank you for being here with us, LeTisha.
Thank you for having me. I'm a subscriber, so y'all make sure y'all subscribe. I tune in
Yes.
all the time.
I appreciate the support. So you guys will see me kind of looking down because I have all my interview questions here. But LeTisha, I'm gonna let you go ahead and tell us about yourself. Tell us what you do in the industry and your YouTube channels and things of that nature.
Okay. I am a director, producer, and editor, as Sonia has stated. Also a full-time mom. And I say full-time, it's full-time. And then on the side, as far as what I've been doing lately, I freelance. So I pick up a camera, I shoot, I direct what we're going to be, doing, I edit. So that's like how I make a little bit of money. As far as passion and things that I do, I like to call myself or consider myself a producer because I am more than just a filmmaker, because I also, if I have a job for a commercial, then I'm going to do that commercial. So I produce a ton of different content. If you go to my Instagram page, the L Nyembo EXP, for the L Nyembo experience, you'll see a lot of different content, short form, but it's like ads, it's photography. Like I am literally all over the place. And that's what you can catch. But the latest thing right now that I'm working on is a screenwriter's room. So that's what I'm heavily promoting right now. That's who I am.
Yes. And LeTisha talked about a screenwriter's room. And guess what, you guys? Yours truly, the Sonia Unapologetic, is part of that screenwriter's room. Y'all saw me doing all this because I got my nails done. So I got to do all this extra as well. But I am part of the screenwriters room, and it's just a blast being a part of this. So LeTisha, I want to ask, how did you get into the film industry, and what has been your experience in the film industry? I guess you can maybe highlight some of your favorite projects that you've had in the industry.
So initially I went to UTA and I have a broadcasting journalism degree with a minor history. But I think like a semester out, I was like, this, I cannot, I'm too radical. And like right now, there's even a push to have like for sisters to wear their hair naturally. Like that's a thing on the news. And that never crossed my mind that I was going to put on a wig over my locks. Like are you kidding me? So like I'm not made for that. And I knew that. So after I finished, I then just got out there and just volunteered and found myself in opportunities. I've co-produced some live theater events. The Songomentary of the Voices is one of my favorite. I got to co-produce with Dr. Sinisha Grace. At that time, she owned a theater in Fort Worth, and it was the original Black theater during the time of segregation. What was it called? It's called the Grand Theater. And after it wasn't a theater anymore. Then it became a church for Quakers. And then she bought it. And then so we got to do shows in this historic building. We did the Songomentary of the Voice, which was like 12 sisters singing. They were all Whitney-esque dance troops, the whole nine. And then we did the Wiz, the Fort Worth edition. And so that's my experience. I love the Wiz, and I've redone the Wiz several times. I've even done the Wiz for a homeschool for my kids when we do homeschool. So I found myself in opportunities. Then I produced my own stuff, to which at first it was horrible. And then I realized I need a team, and that I can get a team, I can assemble, I can do it. Like, it's nothing to it. So ever since then, like doing music videos, and then saying, okay, I want something with some script. I want to do this, collaborating with a screenwriter. And now I find myself here. So I would say some of my favorite moments was the live theater for sure. And then I love production, but not because of the work. That's exhausting and overly stimulating. But I like making connections with people on set. And I really like building. I genuinely like people up to a certain extent. And then I'm like, okay, back off. So that's like my favorite moments in the industry. And that's how I found myself here.
Yes, theater. You talk about theater. I love theater as well. I love catching a lot of the, when Broadway plays will do their touring, and we'll find them in Dallas. Like with the Dallas summer musicals and the ATT Pack, they'll have them there. Oh, I just love all types of musicals and theater. That is just so amazing. I've liked that since I was like a little kid. It's like nobody when I was growing up in Louisiana, there was no one in Louisiana talking about Broadway plays. But once I found out about them, I was just so hooked. So
what's your favorite musical?
I would say Phantom of the Opera, because I've saw it twice, and I know a lot of the music, so that's like really nerdy. I have to keep that to myself. But I've saw so many. I've saw Phantom of the Opera twice, once on Broadway, Mary Poppins, The Lion King, Dreamgirls, when they redid Dreamgirls. I guess that was in 2010. I don't think they allowed that to run for like a long time, unless I'm out of the loop and maybe it's just on Broadway. But I haven't saw.
I felt like it was smaller.
Yeah, that was so amazing. Man, I've saw so many. Color Purple, Cinderella. I can go on and on. I can just see so many I love it. Love theater. And that's sometimes I have to just go by myself, because dragging people along who don't want to see it, they're just kind of like, why are we here? Like, so I love it. This is, I guess, an off-topic thing. Did you ever feel like being a Black person liking theater stuff, that people ever looked at you like why are you into that, or no?
I'm a pretty off sheep without needing musicals.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna question me regardless. So no, not in regards to that, but everything else in life, yes.
Just like, what is going on with you?
Yeah, no. Like, the people who are closest to me know that we're gonna watch. Now, I'm not as well versed as you as far as the musicals that you know, but I would make them watch the same things over and over. And they were very, it's Black, like like ultra Black. So it wasn't like, but it was like, this just her. She's just a little off.
And the funniest thing, once I introduce people to musicals, it's like they'll get there and they're like, wait a minute, that was really, really nice. It's so funny, like going on a date and going to a musical. This dude just kind of like, nah, man, like, I'm gangster, like I'm going for her. And then you can see them like nodding their head, like, ooh, look what's happening on stage. It's like, dude,
there's so much work that goes into theater.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's appreciated. Once you sit down in that seat, you really appreciate the work and the effort and like just the collaboration that's happening in front of you.
So, do you ever feel that your personal life with being a wife and a mother, especially of little ones, do you ever feel like that conflicts with you being a producer, director, editor, just your filmmaking career?
Um, it definitely does if I look at it in the sense that I'm not being honest with myself.
Okay.
So I think before I got married, I was like, I want to have kids after 30, and that I want to give that time to like to myself. And that's not how that happened at all.
Mhm.
I found myself, I think, married like 24. Yeah, because I have no concept of time. That's also like a horrible thing. But I have like no concept of what's 10 years. I'm like, oh, really? That was 10 years ago? I was in, this girl at the grocery store typed in 1997 for me to get some alcohol. And I was like, 1997? What are you talking about? She's like, okay, that's just my birthday. I'm over 21. I was like, oh my God.
Ugh.
Oh. I'm born in 1988. And like, even that, it's just kind of like, so I have no concept of time. Um, so just, that just was not how it happened for me. I was married at 24, and I think like at 26 to 27, I started having kids, and now I have 3. And over the time, I had to become more honest with myself to say, you want to be hands-on, and you want to be an active mother, and you want to be a good like wife to some degree. I don't like cleaning, so that's just never going to be a thing. But I still want to be present for what's going on here. And that makes me have to say, well, I can't put filmmaking before everything else. Like, I'm not willing to have my children at a daycare all day from like sun up to sundown and then come and get them. I'm like, they're not being influenced by me. Like, that's not my child technically. Like, I had it, and now whoever's the guardian from whoever does the 2 shifts at the daycare, they're being influenced by them and these other children.
Yeah.
So being honest with myself, it conflicts because my mom wasn't a stay-at-home mom. So I'm not programmed nor wired to do what I'm doing. This is new. But being honest with myself, I have to be hands-on, and I enjoy being hands-on. I enjoy seeing the reward in their growth.
Yeah.
So that means that my dreams they're still slightly deferred because I can't be out here on everybody's set. Like, I can't waste time like that. Like, I got stuff to do, bro. I gotta be over here. So that's why I'm here creating exactly what I'm creating. I'm creating my own so that it fits my lifestyle.
Yeah. That is so amazing. When you allow your life, you create your own life instead of you trying to fit into everybody else's schedule. You create the stuff, and then things have to fit around your life. So I think that is pretty amazing. And the people who watch my channel know that that is definitely my story to try to get rid of all these limitations. So for me right now, I'm spending some time in Mexico, a long amount of time, extended stay here. And so that's just kind of where my brain is at now. It's like, it's unconventional. Everybody's like, no, you're supposed to be in the US somewhere at a job from 8 to 5, like the rest of everybody. Like, what are you doing? But I'm just like, I can decide and create the life that I want to create, and everything else is going to have to work itself out. So,
because that's what you do when you're free.
Yes.
When you don't have, like, why am I? It's like, well, who told me that I have to do that? Because that's what I was trained to do. You go to school from here to here, so it's like I get out to repeat those loops, and it was like, but it doesn't work for my lifestyle. Like, I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to do everything.
So back to your current project. It's a writer's room, an anthology series. How did you come up with the idea for this? And I guess also, why was it so important for you to for this project to come about?
All of my ideas I live in my head in some sort of compartment, however it branches itself out, and it sits there, and I'll be watching something, probably procrastinating on not doing what I'm supposed to be doing over here, and I'm just over here, and I'll watch something, and then, oh man, I remember thinking about this one thing, and then so it combines and it layers up off that way. I do that for a long time, and I talk about it out loud for a long time. And then when it congeals, when I'm like, okay, that's some good jello, then I write it down. And then I'm like, okay, I done wrote this mess down. Okay, so if I get to the point that I wrote it down and then I have steps and tasks of what to do, and then I see that I'm checking them off, it's going into motion. So that's really my process with anything. It has to go through this really in-depth thing. Like I have to be really living in it. So I put my thoughts to paper, and I had like all of these ideas of, okay, what if this happens, scenarios. And then just really, I never actually wanted to do horror. So the fact that I'm doing horror, I don't even know where that came from. But just doing something in an anthology, I said, I'm not ready for feature films yet. And I'm still wanting to do something shorter. So I was like, man, I could do a whole bunch of stuff. And if I put it in an anthology series, like I can cover so many things. And that was inspired by Tales from the Hood is one of my favorite horror films for Black people in general. Like it touched me as a child. The Devil still scares me. All that death at the end with the gangster and the lady with the beautiful locks, like just those scenes with Special K, and it was a lot for me to handle as a child, and it stuck with me. The rest of the Tales from the Hood, I don't know, just gonna leave that alone. But Tales from the Hood, and then Cosmic Slop. I was introduced to Cosmic Slop from like a coworker. It's a 1970s, like George Clinton produced an anthology series called Cosmic Slop. Oh no, he's from the 70s, but Cosmic Slop is actually from the 90s. And it's like 4 stories. You can check it out on YouTube. That also inspired me to kind of have like this host introducing these stories with some sort of message. So that was really my idea. And then from that, I was like, this can happen, but I can't write all this. Child, I'm not a writer. So I was okay, my past experience, I collaborated with a writer and a DP. So if I did it then, now I can actually do it, but take full like reins of it. And with the writer last time, it was like, okay, this is what I wrote. Okay, great, let's do it. This time I'm presenting to the writers kind of like the skeleton body, and then they will build this little baby from an embryo or fetus, and it's going to grow from my writers, and then we'll go into production. So that's how that got started, and that's usually my process. It takes a long time to get there. So
yes, you are very good. And for one thing, you have amazing ideas, So that's a great thing. You're very organized, so you're able to present writers with a very solid foundation for us to go out and make your baby come to life. So you're all like tears.
Yeah, girl, I cry easy too, girl. Oprah today. No Oprah today.
So yeah, that's the most amazing thing when you present us with the ideas. I'm like, wow, this is just so amazing. I'm sure you can see the writer's eyes, our eyes lighting up as you present one idea, and then you present the next one, and people are like, oh man, that's the one that I want to write. It's just, yeah, it's a really good experience. And it's something that I'm happy that you have allowed me to be a part of your baby. So
I'm super humble. I don't believe in all that like hierarchy. I'm like, no, because they would still just be on my paper if I didn't have a team of writers. So yes. I'm grateful.
So back to the wonderful writers. It's like, I heard one of them is this lady, I think she does YouTube. So how did you pick the writers to work with? Was that hard?
It's like casting, so I didn't really find it to be anything more difficult than what I would normally do when I cast a project.
Mhm.
So because I do come from corporate America really does, paper trail, timestamps,
Mhm.
deadlines, like get it together. So coming from that and then broadcast journalism, like it all like ties into each other.
Mhm.
It was several things that I looked for in a person. First off, I did not want to be flooded. I actually hate being overly stimulated. Like I really do. I'm like a weird extrovert, introvert. Like it's super, I'm not balanced.
Mhm.
I'm just like, I'm opposite end of the spectrum of like everything. I'm never rarely in the middle. I'm black or white, on or off. That's really who I am. So like for this, I was like, I'm gonna put in search out, I don't want to get 20 people. Like that's too much. I was like, I'm looking for like 10 people and then, or like 5 or 6. And then I just want to go down to 4. And so I had like 6 people submitted. And then from there, I was okay, you have to have it in by this time. I asked people to fill out general information. Where can I find you? If you have any work, let me see your work. If not, cool. Have you written anything? Have you finished anything? What do you have? And let me read it. Let me see a voice. Let me see what you're good at. From there, uh, communication.
Mhm.
Another test that was like all of this back and forth, scheduling times and seeing if you comprehend instructions.
Mhm.
So it is very simple, but to some people it's not. Some people don't communicate very well. So I ended up with people who communicate very well, who are open, who are honest about their time that they have to dedicate to
Mhm.
something like this. We meet monthly, but you have life, and then you have, oh, okay, I'm doing a passion, so it's like, this is still, I came up with it, you know what I mean? So it's, as a producer, it still holds a little more weight than say, okay, I'm collaborating.
Mhm.
So it's not as heavy on the collaborator, but they still want to do good. So it was all about like, how much time do you have dedicated toward this? Can you comprehend? And then lastly, do I like you? I'm not looking to just work with someone that like does not compliment or that doesn't get along with other people. It's like, you rub everybody the wrong way. No, you can't be here.
Mhm.
I'm trying to be productive.
Mhm.
So all of that, I met with y'all several times, and I even got someone from New York. And I was like, just on the fact that I said that it's in person,
Yeah.
you cannot come here from New York once a month. I don't trust that. I don't trust you. I'm not gonna do anything
That's a
with you.
lot of pressure too. Like, that's a lot.
Comprehension.
Mhm.
Comprehension at that point was like, you don't comprehend what I'm saying. Okay,
Mhm.
well. And then that's how I ended up with 3. Like that's the perfect number. I ended up with Sonia, Marvin, and Tatiana. And y'all are all different,
Mhm.
completely different. And that is what is great. Different perspectives come to sit in. It's like, ooh, I didn't even think about that. Ooh,
Mhm.
where did it come from? So like, it's like super awesome. Like just be sitting in the middle of that.
Yes, it's I feel like it's so amazing because sometimes just bouncing ideas off of the other writers,
Mhm.
it feels so cohesive. It feels like we're one brain, and it's just kind of like, okay, Marvin gives this piece, and then just like seamlessly, like we're just thinking together, and it comes together so amazing. And sometimes you just feel like, okay, that's because that was meant to be, because I have
Mhm.
been in other spaces to where it's like if you can't work together, if somehow you don't complement each other, it's going to be a nightmare because you're going to
Mhm.
spend a lot of time in the conflict.
Mhm.
It's like, and that's going to take up a lot of time if you're not
Mhm.
just somehow able to just complement each other. So that's why I'm really enjoying this. So again, thank you.
Thank y'all. Like, you guys believing in it and then being diligent. Like I said, life is happening right now. You're on a sabbatical. Tatiana, and you're writing and you're doing, all of your passions, but still, you're probably like, I'd rather be outside. I'd rather be, there's so many things that you could be doing, and you still make time to do your drafts, turn them in. Tatiana does literally production. She works all the time. She's in her 20s. She's that 20-year-old that I wanted to be. She out there working and pounding pavement. And Marvin is literally a one-man man. We just finished one feature film, and now he hasn't even done editing that, and now he's into a remake of some short stories and putting it into a feature. So we all have like life, and the fact that, like you said, me pitching it to you and seeing your excitement is what keeps you going and keeping you attached to this. Not attached, but it keeps you connected. And like, so all I would have is ideas if it wasn't for y'all excitement to be like, oh, I'm gonna come back every month and give what I'm supposed to give and build it. Like, we've hit every milestone. Every time we meet, we go further into each project. Like, we're trucking ahead. So, I'm just like the little person that pressed start. And everybody else is like doing their job. So like, it's been smooth sailing as far as working with you guys, the behind the scenes and rooms, like getting to rooms and having alarms go off, and that's normal. It's like, there's always, when you're making moves, there's always some conspiracy that's like, oh no, she moving. Stop her. So that happens, but outside of that, like, it's easy working with you guys.
Yes, it's been easy for me, just being a part of the team. And I guess on this channel, since I talk about, I really just want to highlight, specifically Black women living their dreams and, taking the constraints off. So what advice would you give to, Black women about, if you have a dream, and just, going out there and making that dream happen? Do you have any advice for the sisters out there?
I think you have to look at like solutions, like identify, like, we have to first get a process about ourselves and not just think like, oh, I can do this. Like, well, have you ever done that before? Okay. Let's start at the bottom. And this is not gonna happen tomorrow. Okay. Like, so time should not exist when this is something that you want to do. Because you have to live in the process and you have to live in the journey. And if we're not paying attention to like every step along the way, like, I always have to check myself about comparing myself to where I feel like I should be. And it's like, I'm exactly what I'm supposed to be, because I have all this going on. Like, I'm not her, I'm not him, like, I'm me. And so live in the journey, learn while you're in it, and gain, like, have a process, like, really start to record yourself doing things and see what best works for you so that you are the most productive and not just busy. Be productive. Have goals, have tasks. Most importantly, know what your resources are and network laterally. Like, don't see somebody that's popping in Dallas like, oh, I want to be with him, I want to be in a room. It's like, well, sis, why? They already have their people. You have to find your people. And that means you need to look around you. So that means the person you're like, oh, my friend can do hair, but she's not that good. Okay, well, you ain't that good. So y'all together and y'all can make each other better. Make each other better. It's just what we have to do.
And it's it sounds like, and part of what you're saying is being realistic, and being organized, because sometimes we have a dream and we put the cart before the horse, and I've saw situations like that, to where you're around someone and they're already at point Z and working on that because they're so excited, instead of working on, it's like, no, we still got to work on A, we still gotta, we still gotta have a script. It's like, I don't know if you've ever saw people who they're already location scouting, they're already doing the end stuff. They're already planning the after wrap up party. We don't even have a script.
Let me tell you something, Sonia. That is me. That was me. I was pregnant with my last child, and for some reason, go was all I could think about because I'm pregnant. It's the hormones. I'm about to have a baby. That's why. So I didn't even have a script all the way written. I casted. I pretty much kind of locked down location because they were all gonna be free anyway. And I was like, I locked down a DP. I didn't have a script. It was like, and then right when that happened, because I was going to just really mess myself up. My reputation would have been poo. But like, oh, that girl do trash. Like that's what that would have looked like. And the pandemic hit, like, boop, coronavirus. And I was like, oh, thank you. That's it, guys. We're gonna postpone this till later.
Yeah, you see, that stopped you and slowed you down. And I feel like in the past, like some of the things you talked about, the whole, you see the person who is popping in Dallas and they already have their stuff together. They already, have movies that have come out. And then you feel like, and when I say you, me, I felt like if I could get, next to this person, and like you said, it's like, if I hadn't, really done anything yet, it's like, okay, how am I going to be of use to them? It's like, so when I first started and wanted to get into filmmaking, I was mentally putting the cart before the horse and not, understanding that if I don't have my stuff together, I'm just going to get with this person who's doing big things and slow them down. Slowing them down because they're having to teach me in baby steps, and so I realized I had to go back and do a lot of research and learning on my own. And when you come back and you can speak the language and what they're talking about, and you know about boom mics now, you what ADs are and whatever, then you can at least have a conversation with the person. You're not totally because a lot of times people can have the talent, but they haven't done the work to really research. If someone says that this is their passion, it's just like, okay, go out there and research and learn a lot of stuff on your own, because there's just a lot of ways now that you can learn so much stuff on your own. So that's what helped me to where I had to slow down and just learn from the school of life, and some people allowed me on their set. So I think that was great, to where I was able to say, hey, I'm not going to be in your way. I'm just going to observe. I really appreciate that. And one of the people who allowed me to do that was our fellow UTA, he was a professor there, Yaki Smith. He allowed me to be on his set. And it's so amazing when you see, of course, Yaki has done so many amazing things, but like watching like his movie Wolf, and the young man who was the main star in that movie is now in Pose, or was in the last season of the show Pose. And I'm just like, that is like so amazing, and that's inspirational to see that. It's like, if you believe in something, you can really make it. So yeah, I guess that's me talking to myself, giving myself encouragement, because for me, as my passion is the writing. And so I'm putting out in the universe that I would like to sell screenplays in the future. So I'm putting that out into the universe, that someone's going to see this movie in theaters and they're gonna be like, did you know Sonia wrote that? Sonia wrote that.
Look at that credit.
Yeah.
Huh? You're speaking to a writer.
The women that I know, the sisters that I know, you guys are so inspirational because I've just been surrounded by so many sisters who are saying, if this is what I want to do, I'm going to make it happen. So yeah, that's very important. So I feel good about, everything. I feel good about the future of, this project that I've been fortunate to be a part of with your project. And I thank you for being here to speak to my audience. I am going to link LeTisha's information for her IG, for her Vimeo channel, her YouTube channel will be in the description box. So you guys go out there and check it out. Subscribe to her channels, view. She has some amazing content, so definitely support this sister. And I think that is the only thing that I have for now, unless you had any parting words for these wonderful people.
Yes. So currently, outside of me being like a full-time mom, I yearly participate in celebrating Music Month. I don't call it Black Music Month because I'm talking to my people. I don't want to call it Black. However, Black Music Month is June, and I've been celebrating. That's like one of my first projects that I've ever self-produced, was reimagined music videos from back in the day. You probably can't find really any of them. I took them like kind of all down. But it's like my first project. So I celebrate it every year. So June is coming up, and I do that like exclusively on Instagram, really. And this year it's going to be a lot of montages with music to like understand the feeling or like see the evolution of us through music. Our music is very important. It's like a religion. Like it's very spiritual what we do with music. So I take it very seriously. Then we have the writers room. Stay tuned for that. Like I promote it, and I promote it really to let people know what we're like, how much time it takes to be in pre-production. It's not so easy. It's like, okay, we're gonna have a project due, it's gonna come out in 2023. Child, now we may be wrapping up pre-production in 2023. Like it's a possibility. So I wanted to promote that. I want to promote the collaboration of people who are with me. And then also I have one more series that I'm writing on my own. And I don't want it to be something that's like overly produced. I want to focus on the skill of writing. So this is like my debut writing mini series. So I'm still writing it. Things have changed so many times within the story. So that is what I'm working on. And I'm excited for the future as well. And like for all the women in the audience who are thinking about living out your life or your dreams, start making a plan and start speaking it into existence, because look at us. Like I'm working with Sonia. She is a writer. She's written the story number one. She has a draft. Like we have something concrete just from an idea. So start your plan and day by day, work at it. Move little pebbles to make that mountain.
That is wonderful advice, and I really appreciate you. So you guys, again, subscribe to this channel, share this video, hit the notification bell to be notified every time I post a video. So that is all that we have for you guys right now. I thank you guys for joining us today, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.